I'm going to get my ass kicked, but should be interesting nonetheless to see how long I can survive. We have e4, and I'm going to play a French defense because this is the opening I'm the most comfortable with. And we have knight to c3. Now I suppose that if I play d5, we are just going to transpose into a classical variation of the French defense. So this is what I'm going to go for, and it does in fact transpose into a classical French. I play knight to f6, the closed variation. And this is not what I was expecting. I was expecting him to push this transpose into some sort of an exchange French. We have bishop to d3, and I'm going to be playing bishop to d6. I think that as far as surviving for as long as possible, this is a very great opening for me, because it should be relatively drawish at the beginning, because it's basically symmetrical pawn structure, symmetrical opening. I'm going to probably play c6, but not immediately. First I want to play bishop to g4, pinning this. Oh, I'm sorry, I did not play the move that he played. He castled, and I'm playing bishop to g4, putting some pressure on this knight. We have h3, and I'm going to go on h5. And now we have knight to c5 that wants to get the bishop. That's something that I don't usually see in exchange French with this knight. Usually you have either c3 or c4 played. So this is a line I'm not very familiar with. I could play c6 and accept to give him the bishop pair. Or I can retreat to bishop to e7, but I don't very much like that. Bishop to e7, and what then? I could kick the knight back and maybe bring the bishop back. I don't like the idea of giving him the bishop pair. But I don't like bishop to e7 very much either. But I think I'm going to go for c6 anyway, and he does take it. I would. Sorry, this knight is there, and now I take. We have rook to e1. I'm going to go knight to d7, bishop to e3. No, I usually bring my a rook, because at some point I might want to try to do something with my f pawn. So this is what I'm used to. Rook to e8. I like that rook more than this one, because usually the game is played on this side of the board for me. But after rook to c1, I'm guessing he wants to try and open this up. I don't want to play b5 to try and prevent him from playing c4, because he could just play b3 and c4 anyway, and that would leave me with a huge weakness on c6. So I might just want to double the rooks. I'm guessing he wants this move, but if he plays this, I can take bishop takes. And then I might take and... No, this pawn is not hanging, but I think I want to double my rooks there. For example, g4 and then knight to g5, so rook to e7. And we have b3, so he wants to play c4. Now if he plays c4, I certainly don't want to take this. But if he plays c4, I don't have to take. So I think I'm just going to keep going with my plan of doubling up the rooks. And we have to c4. I also have some ideas of pawn takes. Pawn takes, bishop takes, queen takes, king takes pawn, pawn takes, rook takes, rook takes, rook takes, and I don't think that I have enough pieces for the queen sacrifice. Definitely not. But there are some ideas opening up. So this is an interesting position. I certainly don't feel I'm in a bad position. I feel that it's weird, given that it's Hikaru or his bot, which is rated 2800, 2820 actually. No, I'm pretty sure I don't want to take over there. I might just try to move my knight to e4, but moving my knight to e4 gives him the possibility of moving this bishop, which right now it spins because I could take the rook, and if he takes the knight he loses the queen. If he cannot really take with the other piece. But if I push my knight, I have some ideas of playing f5 and maybe f4. Not f5 immediately, because this bishop is giving that, but I don't see any other ideas. I certainly don't want to play h6, because after g4, bishop to g6 he can take, and I don't want to recapture with my f-pawn. What else could I do? I could drop the queen back to c7, but that's just a waiting move. I think I might do that. No, because then... Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Queen to c7, which is kind of a waiting move, but I have no clear plan. a4, alright. Thinking about a6, but then he might try like a minority attack over there. I also have a5, which is a move that I'm immediately looking towards. I have the queen protecting a5. I cannot really play b4 because I could take, and it would leave him with some isolated pawns and some weaknesses. So I'm going to go with this move. And now we have bishop to f5. Again, I just want to wait on the position actually, because I don't think that any of my moves can... Oh, my pieces are basically on a very nice place. I'm putting some pressure. I'm expecting at some point maybe g4 from him, and then bishop to g6 kind of helps him a lot. But on g4 I might be able to take with my knight and sacrifice, although I'm not sure. Maybe that's why he played f5, because no g4, there is no sacrifice because it's defended twice. So that's actually a smart move, if that's what he wants to play. Because now g4, I'm forced to play g6, bishop to g6. I don't want to play that now because I would rather him weakening his own king. And apart from that, I don't really know what to play. Maybe he also wants a queen on this diagonal and threatening this pawn. I don't want to move this pawn either, so really I don't know what to play. I could have some ideas of knight to f8, knight to e6, because this knight is dominated by this pawn. we do indeed have g4. I'm going to play bishop to g6. I assume he's going to capture my bishop and double my pawns. And he does. And I'm going to recapture with my h-pawn. Always recapture towards the center. But it does double my pawns. And we have king to g2. Now this to me indicates that he's going to try to get me into an endgame and beat me in the endgame. What I said earlier about pawn takes, knight takes does not work because there is a queen that's defending this pawn. Again, I still don't want to play knight to e4 because it gives him the possibility to move this bishop away. And there is no check if I were to move my knight after that. So I might actually want to just move my queen somewhere. Certainly not to d6 because there would be this move. So I'm kinda lost on what to do. And I kinda like that my queen is preventing the king from moving too far forwards. So to be fair, I really don't know what to do. I would very much like to give him the move. No, don't really want to move my king either. This would potentially put my king on a weak diagonal. This would potentially put my king on a weak file. My king is very safe over there. So I might just drop my queen back to b8 and play another waiting move. But I feel like this might just come back to bite me in the ass. Alright. Now if I can take with the knight or the bishop and put some pressure over there. So this was a bad move. Because now this pawn might fall. So I guess rook takes, knight takes. At least I get the file. So I think I'm going to do this. Because I want the open file for myself. And he takes with the bishop actually. He's threatening this pawn. And if he does, he will be threatening the knight. So this was definitely not a good move. This queen b8. I mean, this would be really weak. Queen, maybe getting my queen to a6. I think that's what I have to do right now. I don't like it. But I think that's what I have to do. Queen over there. If I get my queen to a6, he takes, I takes, bishop takes, pawn takes, bishop takes my knight, so that doesn't work. If pawn takes, bishop takes, yeah, that doesn't change anything, actually. So I'm going to be losing a pawn, unless I play rook to a8. But that seems very wrong. I could also try the rook sacrifice, but that also seems completely wrong because that just gives him the open file. Yeah, so basically I'm in a bad spot. Knight to e4 now, queen takes, bishop takes. Don't really have anything. So I think I'm going to go rook a8. But this is a very sad move to play as well. Yeah, no, he has a very nice place for his own knight. But I'm going to try and create something over there. Pawn takes. I could take this pawn. I'm guessing that's a poisoned pawn. Yeah. Knight takes, rook to a1. I cannot take the pawn. to a1. Yeah, no, never mind. I also have like some knight to d7 ideas. I think I'm going to go for this. Challenge immediately this knight, but I might see. I thought I was going to see f4, but instead he plays f3. If I take pawn takes, my knight has to move, and he does not really have a good square to move. Maybe back over there. No, because that would leave this diagonal open. Maybe no. Rook to d8, back to d8, queen takes. Rook back to e8, queen takes, bishop takes, knight takes. So I think rook back to e8 might be an idea. I'm making a lot of rook moves. Yeah, I know it defends this pawn, prefers that rather than attacking this one. I don't think like c5, pawn takes, I will win the knight. C5, if he pushes though, I'm blocking this bishop away, but I'm giving him a strong passed pawn. I will have this big weakness on b7. And well, actually he cannot play this because he would need to capture this first, but knight takes, d5 would be a big problem. Yep. I'm thinking queen to a8, or maybe just b6 to defend this pawn like that, but that would drop this one. Maybe queen to a6, keep defending this, and if I trade the knights, I could attack this pawn later. So I'm going to go queen to a6. Yeah, I think I'm going to take this knight immediately. He's going to recapture with the pawn, I assume. And he does indeed recapture with the pawn. And the one thing I might have underestimated is that my knight does not have any good squares. I mean, I basically have to play knight to h7, so I'm putting my own knight out of the game. And if I take this, pawn takes. If I take this, he can even take this, but then that's kind of nice for me. But queen takes, pawn takes, queen takes over here. I do have connected pass pawns over there. And pawn takes, rook takes, queen takes over here, queen takes there. I don't have isolated pawns, in fact. So I'm just going to retreat my knight. Sadly, I'm getting really crushed here. Queen to d7. Yeah, this does not work because there is bishop to c5. So basically I have to play rook to f8, but there would be c5 anyway. Maybe rook to b8 to protect this pawn while I'm still threatening some stuff. But I'm really being oppressed right now. He's putting a lot of pressure on every move that he plays. Yeah, again. Yeah, I cannot play rook to f8 because there is bishop to c5 and I have to take, otherwise he takes this. And then he would have rook to, and if he takes this, king to h7, rook to e8, and I'm going to lose my knight because queen takes, king to h8, rook to e8, rook takes e8, queen takes e8, check, 6, knight to f8, queen takes f8. I have king to h7, so it's not checkmate, but I do lose a piece. So I have to take this pawn. Oh, alright, I did not see this one. Bishop d4, but basically everything was already losing. Now he's threatening checkmate, and I have no way to defend. All I have, no, queen, king f7, bishop takes with check. I have some ideas of taking this pawn with check as well. I mean, that's the only move that survives, so I'm going to play this. Queen takes over there. He's even defending this, so I don't have anything. I don't think I have any rook to e8, and I'm going to get crushed. Knight to f6, bishop takes, pawn takes, queen. Queen takes f6, check. I might wait, not this. Queen takes with check f, and this would be checkmate actually. I'm going to try queen to b6, but I think I'm getting checkmated. Check in, yes, I am getting checkmated in 2 moves actually. We have queen takes, and it is checkmate. So I survived for 35 moves, which is not bad. And I have to say, I really like the way that Hikaru, or his bot, just beat me, because it was very positional. It's no crazy tactics, not anything like that. It just positionally pushed me back little by little until I was screwed and I had nothing that I could really do. I'm launching the game review, and he played with 97% accuracy, and I played with 82.2%, which is not bad. And we saw, I'm going to put you a screenshot of the game, but I see that I did play very well for a little while, until I wasn't, and until I got crushed. But this is a really nice game. I enjoyed playing it. I hope that you enjoyed watching me getting crushed by one of the strongest players in the world, maybe even the strongest blitz player in the world. And on that note, I wish you a good day, a good evening, or even a good night if you're watching this from the comfort of your bed.